if you don't think that it's going to come back at the same severity as right now, why are you still directing that taxpayer dollars to spend on emergency procurement of ventilators, tens of thousands?
Because we have to have them for other reasons. Something else could come. I mean, we didn't know about Corona. Now we know about Corona. But look at what happened. And now we did have the H1N1 swine flu. We had that. We have other things that have happened. We had various forms of flu, but nothing like what we've had here. Nothing at all like what we've had here with the virus. But something could happen. I think that the stockpiles, we're making hundreds of thousands of ventilators right now. Nobody writes about that. You know, at the one time, all they talked about was ventilators, right? Because you didn't think it was possible for me to solve that problem. And I solved it, and nobody can believe it. But they all said to me one thing: it was incredible that you solved the ventilator problem, because that was a big problem. The testing problem, we've done more than any other nation in the world. Go a step further. If you added up the testing of every nation in the world, put them together, we've done substantially more than that. You people aren't satisfied. So let's say we had 350 million people in the United States, right? Let's say. And if we gave every one of those people a test 10 times, so we gave 350 people a test 10 times, the fake news media would say, where's the 11th time? He didn't do his job. Trump didn't do his job. Because you have a lot of bad reporting out there. It's very sad. And it's so bad.
That's not true.
Well, you're one of the leaders of the bad reporting.
No, but that's not true.
Okay, let's get on to another subject. I wanted that to be cleared up. If you want, we can get onto it later, but I want the Vice President to speak. But you ought to get the news accurately. You ought to write it. If you take a look at what you wrote about the ventilators, and when we became the king of ventilators, we're making different factories all over ventilators by the thousands. In fact, Mike got back from Wisconsin. First thing he did, he called up. I said, how's it going? He said, you're not going to believe. He just saw a plant, a factory, where they're making ventilators. I think I can say the words were unbelievable. He said it was unbelievable when he saw the quality of the equipment, the professionalism, a tremendous number of, how many workers would you say were there?
Over 550. They doubled production and are about to triple production.
Nobody thought this could be done. The fake news was very unhappy that it was done. But you guys don't ask me about ventilators anymore.
Who's unhappy that ventilators
everybody,
are being made?
because you never mention it. You never mention it. There's no stories. What a great job we've done with ventilators. We're now supplying ventilators all over the world because no other country could have done what we did. And you should say that's a great story. Instead, you say Trump was slow or slow. We were so fast. Plus, we put the ban on so much earlier. When Nancy Pelosi, as an example, you don't say this, when she's having her rally in San Francisco, in Chinatown in San Francisco, nobody wants to say that. We don't want a rebound. That's so important. This is what we're just talking about. We don't want a rebound. The doctor doesn't want a rebound. These people definitely don't want a rebound. I don't think you want one, do you? Huh? You, especially. We don't want rebounds after all this death that we've suffered. Not work. I don't view work. I view it death that was unnecessary. Should have never happened. Should have never left that little area where it started. You know it, and I know it, and they know it. In our all-out war against the virus, we continue to make great strides on testing, famous testing, doing more than anybody else anywhere in the world. Nothing funny about that, John. I told the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, that I disagree strongly with his decision to open certain facilities which are in violation of the Phase 1 guidelines for the incredible people of Georgia. They're incredible people. I love those people. They're great. They've been strong, resolute, but at the same time, he must do what he thinks is right. I want him to do what he thinks is right. But I disagree with him on what he's doing, what I want to let the governors do. Now, if I see something totally egregious, totally out of line, I'll do. But I think spas and beauty salons and tattoo parlors and barber shops in Phase 1, we're going to have Phase 2 very soon, is just too soon. I think it's too soon. And I love the people. I love those people that use all of those things, the spas and the beauty parlors and barber shops, tattoo parlors. I love them. But they can wait a little bit longer, just a little bit, not much, because safety has to predominate. We have to have that. So I told the governor very simply that I disagree with his decision, but he has to do what he thinks is right.
Can I ask you about your conversation with Governor Kemp? What did he say to you when you said you strongly disagreed with him? And for gym owners and tattoo parlor artists and barbers in Atlanta and in Georgia generally, would you advise them to listen to you and not to their governor?
Look, I'd like them to listen to their governors, all of their governors. I have the right to do if I wanted to clamp it down, but I have respect for our governors. They know what they're doing. I think, and as you know, Brian Kemp, governor of Georgia, I worked very hard for his election. He beat their superstar. He beat the superstar of their party. I think you can say I helped a lot. Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey, they all went in. They campaigned for him very, very hard. And he lost. He also was way down in a primary and he ended up winning a primary after I came out and endorsed him. So a lot of good things, and there's a lot of good feeling between myself and Brian Kemp. I like him a lot. I happen to disagree with him only in time and timing. I disagree. When you have spas, beauty parlors, and I love these people. I know the people from spas and beauty parlors, tattoo parlors, bikers for Trump, a lot of tattoos. I love them. I love these people. And barbershops. These are great people. But you know what? Maybe you wait a little bit longer till you get into a phase two. So do I agree with him? No. But I respect him, and I will let him make his decision. Would I do that? No. I'd keep him a little longer. I want to protect people's lives. But I'm going to let him make his decision. But I told him I totally disagree. I'm taking very special care of our nursing homes and our seniors other than me. Other than me. Nobody wants to take care of me. But other than me, we're taking care of our seniors.
Well, now that we know about 25 to 50% of people are spreading asymptomatically, we suggested people wear cloth facial coverings to prevent asymptomatic spread. You wear your mask to protect me. I wear my mask, and Dr. Redfield mentioned it. I've got my mask. I believe I have mine on me, Bob. I carry mine around with me, too. I wear my mask to protect you. We're 6 feet away, which is why I'm not wearing my mask to protect you now, and we also all have been tested. So that's why I'm not wearing mine now.
Yeah, but I'm right next to you.
Well, I'll put mine on if you want me to, sir. But again, important to know that if you're going to wear a mask, it's not a substitute for social distancing. Still, social distancing is the #1 thing you can do. Number 2, it's important to know that you should practice good hand hygiene and not touch your face, because you still could touch a surface and bring disease to your face. And number 3, this is the most important, well, it's just as important. Please save the medical mask, the N95s for the healthcare workers, because the cloth facial coverings are effective, as far as we know right now, based on the best available evidence, at preventing you from spreading disease to other people. So no inconsistency there. It's just the recommendation changed because the information changed, and that's what you want from your public health leaders.
And the argument made that you knew about asymptomatic transmission at the time that you said that, and that you were essentially misleading the public so that they
Well, I mean,
answered that
the honest answer to you is no, we did not. That was the recommendation of the World Health Organization and the CDC, and we gave you the best information we could at the time. So I actually a little bit resent that implication, because I work hard to try to protect the American people, and we are always going to give the American people the best information we have available at the time. And we don't. And we're humble enough to say, look, if we don't know, we're going to change. We're going to change those recommendations.
Just a wise guy question, that's all.
Are you
And why do you
concerned
say he
at all
has great gifts or gifts? What, do you know him?
Expertise.
No,
I mean,
no,
I'm
but have
just
you
looking at his
reviewed him?
resume. He's working-
Have you studied him? Have you reported on him? You said his gifts, his gifts. I mean,
his entire career.
well, that doesn't mean you have
developing
gifts. I
vaccines,
know a lot of people,
including
they play
the-
baseball, but they can't hit 150
Well,
in
he
the
helped
major
develop the
leagues.
flu vaccine last
No,
year.
no, but you talk about his great gifts.
Then thank
Please,
you
go
so
ahead, you
much.
could go, please.
Thank you, sir. I have 2 questions, one for myself and then one for a colleague of ours who cannot be here today because of social distancing.
From where, from where?
I'm with USA Today. First, the executive director of the National Association of Counties said today that the White House did not want to see money for local and state and local governments in the latest COVID assistance package.
And they didn't want to say what? What does that mean? Tell me.
I'm sorry?
What does it mean? Repeat it, say it a little differently.
The executive director of the National Association of Counties said today that the White House objected to putting funding for state and local governments into the latest COVID assistance
Oh, really?
package.
That's interesting. Is he a Democrat?
I do not know.
Well,
sir.
check it. How could you ask that question
Well,
without
but
knowing?
what-
Check it out. You'll find
I'll
out.
check it out.
Okay,
But
what's the next
he says-
question?
His question was.
You know
is
the
what-
numbers, you know the money we put into states, local governments, everything else? And they have to be responsible for their own finances. But you check it out. Go ahead. What's the
His
next?
point was that he said that you felt like that this would somehow be a disincentive for states to open their economies. Is he correct about that?
How would he know what I felt? I never spoke to him. I don't even know who he is. You don't know who he is either.
Yes, his name is Matthew Chase, sir.
Okay, it doesn't help me and it doesn't help you. Okay, go ahead, Jim.
Mr. President, also a
Do we
follow-
want to keep going a little while
Yes,
longer or
yes.
no? You're not going to say, oh, he took questions all night long. Okay, right?
Yes,
Right?
please, thank you.
Okay, well, good. How many questions can you ask? Go ahead. But we all have fun because we're talking about something very important. The main thing is, I think we're getting to a lot of solutions. We never want this to happen again. We never want this to happen again. What happened? And if it should come back in some form, we want to snuff it out very quickly before anything can happen. And I personally hope it doesn't come back in the fall as a combination of the flu or not as a combination of the flu. But I think we learn a lot. And, you know, some of these questions are good. Some of them are ridiculous, frankly, but some of them are very, I think some of them are very important questions. Very important. You know, when you asked Dr. Fauci about the right to speak, if I let him speak, I'll let anybody speak. And we love him. Let's go.
Mr. President, Senator, about the growing U.S. national debt as a result of these stimulus
Well, we had no
packages.
choice. Do we have a choice? Yeah, I'm always concerned about everything. We had to fix this problem. We were attacked. This was an attack. This wasn't just, oh, gee. And this wasn't the flu, by the way. You know, they like to say the flu. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. 1917 was the last time. We were attacked. We had the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had the greatest economy, better than China, better than any place. They will tell you that. I dealt with them for a long time, and they will tell we had the greatest economy, and we built it in the last 3 years, 3.5 years. We built it, and then one day they came and they said you have to close it. I said you got to be these people right here. They said you have to. They came into my office, into the Oval Office, and they said we have to close the economy. I said let's explain this. Explain this to me. The greatest ever in history, and we had to close it. Now we're going to open it again, and we're going to be just as strong or stronger. But you have to spend some money to get it back open. We saved our airlines. We just, as you know, finished up with the airlines. We saved numerous companies that are great companies that 2 months ago were having the best year they've ever had. Now all of a sudden they're totally shut out of markets. There was a great spirit today. You know, the fact is some of the governors are opening up their states. And I saw it. I feel it. I don't know if you folks feel it. I feel it. There was a great spirit today. I don't know. The stock market was up today, I guess. It was up quite a bit when I just walked out here. And I will say, I feel much different today than I did 2 or 3 days ago.